¿qué tal? Muy buenas noches a todos, soy Edson Jaramillo y el día de hoy vamos a ver un pequeño video para practicar un poco de listening, ¿vale? El objetivo aquí es que dejen en los comentarios lo que ustedes entiendan acerca de este video, ¿vale? Así que vamos a escuchar atentamente.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Hi guys, how you doing? Jay here. Today I'm going to talk to you about New Year's resolutions. Now what's a resolution? I can hear you cry from the distance. What is a resolution? Well, the definition of a resolution is a firm decision to do or not to do something. Okay, and we always make resolutions at New Year. So first, I'll tell you a little bit about the history of New Year's resolutions. Here's some of the history of New Year's resolutions. The ancient Babylonians are said to have been the first people to make New Year's resolutions some 4,000 years ago. They were also the first to hold recorded celebrations in honour of the new year. Though for them the year began not in January but in mid-March when the crops were planted. So the crops are the things we put in the ground to create food, like wheat or the fruit. During a massive 12-day religious festival known as Akitu, the Babylonians crowned a new king or reaffirmed their loyalty to the reigning king. So that's when you say you are loyal to the present king, or you put a crown on the head of a new king. A similar practice occurred in ancient Rome after the emperor Julius Caesar changed the calendar and established January the 1st as the beginning of the new year, circa 46 BC. That means 46 before Christ. Named for Janus, the two-faced god whose spirit inhabited doorways and arches, January had a special significance for the Romans. Believing that Janus symbolically looked backwards into the previous year and ahead into the future, because the god Janus had two heads. The Romans offered sacrifices to the gods and made promises of good conduct for the coming year. So good conduct just means being good for the coming year. Now, for early Christians, the first day of the new year became the traditional occasion for thinking about one's past mistakes and resolving to do and be better in the future. So that's a little history of where New Year's resolutions came from. First the Babylonians, then the Romans, and then the early Christians. So now, instead of making promises to the gods, most people make resolutions only to themselves. That means to you. And they focus purely on self-improvement, which may explain why a lot of resolutions seem so hard to complete or to do. According to recent research, as many as 45% of Americans say they usually make New Year's resolutions. Only 8% of them are successful in achieving their goals. That's their objectives. So, let's talk a little bit about resolutions. What sort of resolutions do we make? Well, we normally make a list of resolutions on a piece of paper that we hope to complete throughout the coming year. And we have negatives and positives. So we'll start with the negatives. Often we use phrasal verbs when we talk about New Year's resolutions. So here are two typical phrasal verbs we use with New Year's resolutions. Give up. So to give up something means to stop doing it. We give up. And the second phrasal verb would be to cut down on. To cut down on. That means to reduce what we are doing, to reduce the thing that we are doing. So let's take give up first. The typical one, at least certainly in the past in Western Europe, would be to give up smoking. A typical New Year's resolution would be give up smoking. Or give up eating chocolate, for example. Or give up drinking. Now, in the English language, when we talk about drinking as a gerund, we normally mean alcohol. So to give up drinking, alcohol. To give up eating meat, for example. So if you notice, with give up, the phrasal verb, we always use the gerund afterwards. Give up smoking, give up eating chocolate, give up drinking, alcohol, or give up eating meat, become a vegan or a vegetarian. To cut down on. So we cut down on eating chocolate. Or we cut down on drinking alcohol again. Or cut down, this is an interesting one, on binge watching television. So binge watching television is when you watch lots of programs together from the same series. So if you take a series like Game of Thrones, for example, a very popular TV series, maybe you binge watch the whole series. That means you watch all of it in one go. So there's two negatives. So how about the positives? Well, we can start to do something. So for example, we can start to do more exercise. We could start to walk or cycle to work. We could start to learn a new language. Or we could start to go to the gym more often, or just to go to the gym. Depends. Another one would be to try to do something. Try to learn a new language. Try to learn English. Try to learn Chinese. I would like to learn French. Try to be a better person. Try to eat more healthily. Or, here's a good one, at least I think for most people, try to sleep more. So there's some of the New Year's resolutions we could possibly do. Two negatives, two positives. And I'm going to finish with a little joke. This is a little joke I found on internet when I was looking for some funny resolutions that some people do. So here's a joke for you. See if you can understand it. I took this from the internet. This past year, I went to the gym 4 times, and my New Year's resolution is to cut that number in half. See if you can understand the joke. Maybe you could comment below if you understand what the joke means. I'll read it once more. This past year, I went to the gym 4 times, and my New Year's resolution is to cut that number in half. Okay, so it would be lovely to hear about some of your New Year's resolutions, some of the things you would like to do, maybe give up, maybe cut down on, or start to do, or try to do for the new year. So you could comment below in the comment section. It would be great to hear what you want to do next year. Okay? So, Happy New Year, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Si te gusta este video, regálame un like, suscríbete al canal y déjame saber en los comentarios cuánto entendiste acerca de este video en inglés. Keep you learning English. See you soon. Bye bye.